You toss and turn every night, staring at the ceiling while the clock ticks closer to morning. You've tried everything, sleep apps, white noise, even prescription meds, but nothing gives you that deep, restorative sleep you crave. What if the answer is not in a pill bottle or an expensive gadget, but in the quiet, forgotten corners of the mountains? Today, we're uncovering rare mountain herbs that have been used for centuries to melt away stress and pull you into the deepest sleep of your life. And the best part? These are not just old wives' tales. Modern science is finally catching up to what ancient healers knew all along. 1. The sleep crisis nobody's talking about. We're more connected than ever, but we're also more exhausted. The World Health Organization calls sleep deprivation a global epidemic. And Big Pharma is cashing in. Sleep aid sales have skyrocketed 300% in the last decade. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Those quick fixes often make the problem worse. Dependency, grogginess, even memory fog. You're not just fighting insomnia, you're fighting an industry that profits from your exhaustion. The real tragedy? This is not just about feeling tired. Chronic sleep deprivation rewires your brain, shrinking the hippocampus. That's why after weeks of poor sleep, small stresses feel overwhelming. And the pharmaceutical industry knows this. They've designed medications to mask symptoms rather than address root causes because repeat customers are profitable customers. Meanwhile, indigenous cultures from the Andes to the Alps have been using mountain herbs not just to sleep, but to heal the nervous system damage caused by modern life. The difference? Their approach builds resilience rather than dependency. 2. Why your brain will not shut off at night. Your ancestors did not have this problem. They lived in sync with nature, sunrise to sunset, no blue light, no 24/7 stress. Now, your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight mode, pumping cortisol when it should be winding down. Have you ever noticed how your mind races the second your head hits the pillow? That's not a personal failing. It's your biology screaming for help. Blue light from screens is only part of the problem. The deeper issue is circadian disruption. Your body's internal clock is getting conflicting signals from artificial environments, irregular meal times, and constant low-grade stress. Your adrenal glands do not know if they should prepare you to fight a bear or drift into dreamland. This explains why you might feel wired at bedtime, but exhausted all day. Traditional cultures understood this. They used sunset rituals with specific herbs to signal danger time was over. The Sami people of Scandinavia still brew Labrador tea at dusk, not just for its calming effects, but because the ritual itself tells the body it's safe to unwind. 3. The first glimmer of hope, a forgotten mountain remedy, deep in the Himalayas. Villagers have used a silvery-leafed herb called jatamancy for generations. It does not just knock you out, it gently resets your nervous system. Studies show it increases GABA, your brain's natural relaxant, by up to 40%. One user told me, "It's like someone turned down the volume on my anxiety." And the best part? No next-day fog. What makes jatamancy different from pharmaceutical sedatives? It works on multiple levels simultaneously. While sleeping pills typically target just GABA receptors, this herb also regulates serotonin and melatonin pathways. Himalayan shepherds have long chewed the root during seasonal migrations when sleep was scarce but alertness was critical. Modern research confirms this dual action. Participants in a 2021 study reported feeling both more rested and more mentally clear than with conventional sleep aids. The herb's volatile oils, which degrade in mass-produced supplements, are key to this balanced effect, another reason sourcing matters tremendously. 4. The dirty secret of natural sleep aids. Walk into any health store and you'll see shelves of natural sleep remedies. But most are either too weak to work or packed with synthetic additives. Here's what they do not want you to know. Many so-called herbal blends contain trace amounts of pharmaceuticals. Real mountain herbs do not need tricks. Their potency speaks for itself. The adulteration problem goes beyond added pharmaceuticals. Many commercial herbal blends contain less than 10% of the advertised ingredient, bulked up with ineffective fillers like alfalfa or rice powder. Independent testing in 2023 found some popular sleep teas contained no detectable amounts of their headline herbs. This is not just dishonest, it's dangerous when consumers combine these with medications, believing they're using just plants. Real mountain herbs have a distinct terroir. The Tibetan kind of jatamancy has a sharper, almost pine-like aroma compared to lower-altitude varieties. Your nose can often detect quality before your body feels the effects. 5. How to spot fake versus authentic mountain herbs. The herbal market is flooded with cheap imitations. True mountain-grown herbs have 3 markers. They're wild harvested, not farmed. They come from high altitudes, 3,000 plus feet. And they're traditionally prepared, often sun-dried for weeks. If your supplier cannot tell you the exact elevation where it was picked, you're probably getting ditchweed. Altitude is not just about prestige, it changes plant chemistry dramatically. At 8,000 feet, UV exposure forces herbs to develop stronger protective compounds. The drying process matters equally. Commercial operations often use dehydrators that cook away volatile oils. Traditional sun-drying preserves these delicate compounds through gradual temperature changes. When evaluating suppliers, ask for photos of their drying racks. Authentic producers will proudly show herbs laid out on woven mats in high-altitude sunlight, not industrial drying rooms. This visual proof often tells you more than any certification. 6. The breakthrough herb that outperforms valerian. Valerian root gets all the press, but there's a stronger player, sarpaganda. Used by Ayurvedic healers for centuries. It does not just relax you, it targets the root cause of nighttime restlessness by balancing dopamine levels. A 2022 study found it helped 78% of participants fall asleep 50% faster. The kicker? Big Pharma tried, and failed, to synthetically replicate its effects. Sarpaganda's mechanism is particularly fascinating. Unlike sedatives that blunt all neural activity, it specifically calms the locus coeruleus, the brain's panic button. This explains why users report feeling relaxed yet mentally sharp. Indian railroad workers historically used it during monsoons when tracks required hypervigilance but nerves needed steadying. Modern functional MRI studies show it quiets the default mode network, that mental chatter about past regrets and future worries, by 60% more effectively than placebo. The herb's effects accumulate over weeks, suggesting it's healing neural pathways rather than just masking symptoms. 7. The ritual that makes these herbs 3x more effective. Here's where most people go wrong. They take these herbs like pills, gulping them down with water. Traditional healers steep them in warm milk or honey for 20 minutes first. Why? Fat and heat unlock compounds your body cannot access otherwise. One user told me this method felt like a warm blanket for my nervous system. The milk ritual is not just tradition, it's biochemistry. Many sleep-inducing compounds are fat-soluble. Warm milk acts as a delivery system, while honey provides simple sugars that help active constituents cross the blood-brain barrier. Himalayan healers often add a pinch of black pepper not for flavor, but because piperine increases absorption by 200%. This explains why tea bags of these herbs often disappoint. The water extraction misses key components. One Nepalese practitioner told me, the medicine is not just in the plant, it's in the patience of preparation. 8. The danger zone. Herbs you should never mix. Some of these potent plants do not play well with others, or with medications. Sarpaganda, for example, can dangerously lower blood pressure if taken with prescriptions. Always consult an herbalist or functional medicine doctor before combining. This is not scaremongering. It's about respecting nature's power. The interaction warnings extend beyond pharmaceuticals. Some herbs potentiate each other unpredictably. Combining sarpaganda with kava, for instance, can cause excessive drowsiness that persists into the next day. Even common supplements like valerian or passion flower should be introduced separately when using mountain herbs. Traditional systems have elaborate compatibility charts. Ayurveda classifies herbs by virya. Western herbalism often misses these nuances. Always start with single herbs for at least a week before considering combinations, and track your responses in a sleep journal. 9. Where to find these herbs. I've spent years vetting suppliers, and I'll save you the trouble. 85% of online sellers are peddling low-grade or adulterated products. The gold standard? Small, family-run farms in Nepal and Bhutan that hand-harvest these herbs. I'll link my trusted sources below. No affiliate kickbacks, just real medicine. The ethical sourcing dimension matters more than you might think. Overharvesting threatens several of these species in the wild. Reputable suppliers now practice rhizome banking, replanting root cuttings during harvest. Some Nepalese cooperatives mark wild patches with GPS and rotate collection areas yearly. When buying, look for wild simulated cultivation, where herbs grow in natural conditions without pesticides, but with managed propagation. These practices ensure these remedies will exist for future generations while often producing more potent herbs than purely wildcrafted versions. 10. Your next step tonight. You do not need to trek to the Himalayas to try this. Start with one herb. Jatamansi is the gentlest entry point. Brew it as a tea 90 minutes before bed. Notice how your body responds over 3 nights. Most people report feeling a difference by night 2, not a drugged stupor, but a natural, heavy-eyed drift into sleep. Conclusion, this is not about selling you another miracle cure. It's about reconnecting with ancient wisdom that's been buried under pills and profit. Your body already knows how to sleep. It just needs the right keys to unlock that ability. Try one herb this week. Pay attention to the subtle shifts, the slower breathing, the quieter mind. And when you wake up refreshed, do me a favor. Share this with one person who's still trapped in the sleepless cycle. Because everyone deserves to know there's another way.